Is that an accurate assessment from your position that the Panthers got the better of the Jets in the joint practice?
Well, I tell you what, how's this for a tease? Later on this afternoon, you can read a fresh Ask the Old Guy on Panthers.com.
Very nice.
That details a lot of that information which you seek. And we can give you the radio version of it here, but I would encourage you to dig a little deeper and enjoy everything we have to offer. So there's my shameless tease for this appearance on the Adam Gold program, and we will proceed. I think that's fair, and I think it's especially fair in context of what last year's joint practice in Spartanburg was, which was kind of a hot mess.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Brian Burns getting after a shaky Jets offensive line, there wasn't really a lot to look at. Last year in those practices, Aaron Rodgers had a good day, when he didn't have Burns draped across his back. There just wasn't as much to point to. I think if we use the benefit of hindsight, that day might have been that moment that should have been the flashing red light for a lot of people that, this offense is what we call not good. But we didn't necessarily see that at the time, and Frank had a decent explanation for it, and we kind of went on, and then time proved that it was, in fact, an indicator. So sometimes if the canary in the coal mine falls over dead, listen to the canary. I don't know. I think I stretched that metaphor farther than it should go, and now we've got dead birds. I don't really know what happened here. But
a dead canary never speaks. Right? A dead canary never speaks. Darin Gantt, Panthers.com. We're asking the old guy, although there will be an official Ask the Old Guy coming out at Panthers.com later today. There obviously, I know you wrote about there was good and bad. I am not in any way moved by the bad. I understand what Dave Canales is saying about Terrace Marshall and his reaction to catching the touchdown pass. I'm just not moved. I'm not mad at in any way, shape, or form about that because this is just a practice. I don't know that Terrace Marshall would do that during a game, but the good from that play, I think, is pretty encouraging, no?
Yeah, you like it. I mean, it forces you to kick a 50-yard extra point is the problem. And while Eddie Pinheiro is a good and reliable kicker, especially inside 50, the Carolina Panthers are not contending for a Super Bowl this year necessarily, so it's reasonable to think that every game they're going to be in is going to be close. And that the margin of error for them to win a game is relatively small compared to more established, more talented teams. So I think Dave's point is we can't be giving away the easy stuff.
Right.
We can't be, giving away yards, whether it's with a false start, whether it's making us kick a 50-yard extra point, any of those kind of things. So I just think that, his greater message was, we got to be attentive to details and not let our emotions put us behind the sticks because, listen, realistically, they're going to be behind the sticks sometimes this year anyway because this isn't as deep a team as we've seen here, and they are still in the process of building it out. So I think you have to send that message if you're Dave Canales. But, throughout that day, the big number for me is 5 turnovers for the Jets, 0 turnovers for the Carolina Panthers. That's kind of the day. Bryce moved the ball. There were some shots downfield. He got David Moore downfield. He got Mingo. He hit Terrace Marshall a couple times. Terrace Marshall got on the other side of Sauce Gardner, and that's good. That's a good thing for both Terrace, who's a guy trying to make the roster, and Bryce, who we feel reasonably secure will be on it. They're making progress, and the way that practice was set up, and I love joint practice instead of preseason football because it's predictable, repeatable reps. You want to work on move the ball 2-minute drill, build 12 play segments of that. In this game Saturday night that we don't expect to see a lot of the regulars in, just like last week. Right. I don't know if those situations present themselves, so you don't know if you're going to get to work on it or not. But in a joint practice, you and Saleh can get together and decide, hey, let's do this, and then you do that. You get good work in. So I'm just looking, to see those sustainable offensive reps, and they got him in, and Bryce looked pretty good in the process.
All right, so Darin Gantt, you teed me up for what I believe the Panthers need, and if they don't get it this in tomorrow's game, I think they need it against Buffalo. I think there are levels of progress, hurdles to clear between the start of training camp and the start of the regular season. And it seems to me that Dave Canales wants to eliminate the last step, which is a preseason game. It's not a regular season game. Nobody is suggesting that it is. But it's more than a controlled scrimmage where you can script out a lot of different things that you want to accomplish. I'd love to see Bryce and the offense get 2 or 3 series. Everybody else is doing it, pretty much. I'd love to see.
No. Here's the thing, and you're better than that, Adam. So I'm going to fact check you.
Ooh.
Do you know how many teams in the NFL played their starting quarterback in week 1 of the preseason? Because I do.
Well, I know who did.
The answer is 17 teams did not play their starting quarterback in week 1 of the preseason. So I would begin by saying I think it's an overrated exercise. I would follow that by saying I think the trend is clearly pointing away from putting people you value into unpredictable situations.
I totally understand that. But a lot of these teams are not coming from where the Panthers are coming from. And when I go back and look at Thursday night looked a lot like the last 5.5 years.
Thursday night was also contested by a quarterback who we last saw leading Louisville into the ACC.
Totally understand. I understand all of that, right? But it's not just the quarterback. It's the operation. It's calling timeouts that you don't like. To me, it's the entire operation that I want to see.
Well, and I think and Canales talked about that in reference to the Patriots game last week. And frankly, as soon as I saw that list of 30-plus inactive players, I kind of checked out mentally. I knew that it wasn't going to be that instructive of an evening in Foxborough, as many of them can be. It's a delightful place. So he talked about that Thursday night in that him and George Lee, his game, I forget the title, game management coordinator, him and George got together and challenged a play, and it worked. And he was able to kind of work through some of the headset stuff, figure out his communication with Brad Idzik and Jero Evero in terms of communication on the sidelines, those kind of things. So I think you're able to do that without exposing. Listen, maybe I'm just old. Maybe this is my 30th year of looking at awful preseason football.
It's terrible.
And I've grown weary of the exercise. So maybe I'm the wrong one to ask, but I just don't see the point in, especially when you know you're a thin team. I don't see the point in exposing people you're counting on for the regular season to unnecessary risk just to appease people who haven't seen you score a touchdown in 350 days or something, or however many it is.
Darin Gantt is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I appreciate your point of view, and I understand it. I know how long it's been since the Panthers have looked like especially on the offensive side of the ball, like an NFL operation. And
the second half of 2022 is the answer to that question.
Well, I go back further. I go back to 2018.
Cam, everything leading up to that Pittsburgh 2018 when Cam's shoulder blew up for the last good time. I get that. I mean, it's been a struggle, especially offensively, but I don't know that a couple token snaps against Patriots backups would have shown you what you needed to see.
Well, we get Jets backups.
Working against the Jets starters would have.
But we're going to get Jets backups, right, tomorrow night? Jets aren't going to play their starters, are they?
Why would anybody play their starters?
Right.
See, that's what I'm saying. The league, the trend is moving toward, and again, I get it. Patrick Mahomes is playing in the preseason. Well, Andy Reid's got probably particular stuff he wants to see, and he's not going to put Patrick in any risky situations. I mean, Josh Allen played last week for
Caleb Williams played. Russell Wilson is going to play this week.
Yeah, he dumped it off a couple times and handed it off a bunch and got on out of there.
That would be fine for me. Give me 2 series of just getting the snap off.
But now you're talking about Adam Gold's feelings versus the need to keep Bryce Young upright a year after he was sacked 62 times.
You can do that. They are allowed to do that. So that would be I get it. In a controlled scrimmage, no quarterback is going to get hit. Let me ask you about the defensive side of the ball, because you and I have talked about how big a year it is for Jaycee Horn. How has his camp gone? I don't think he participated in the full joint scrimmage yesterday, but how has it gone for Jaycee Horn?
Yeah, it's gone well. I mean, gosh, the thing, it's like Bryce. The things we knew about him previously are still true. Jaycee Horn, when well, is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He's that guy who can erase half the field. The only question's been reliability. And it's not even reliability, it's good fortune. He hasn't had it. The injuries aren't ones of inattention or lack of training or anything like that. Sometimes it's just dumb luck. And he's been a victim of that. So he's looked good in practice. I mean, when you see him go against top shelf receivers, like Garrett Wilson, it's like, yeah, he's that guy. No question about it. And he's going to have to be that guy and be available, because one of the things we learned yesterday was Dane Jackson's going to be out for a minute with a hamstring injury, and that wasn't a deep position to begin with. So, you can read my partner Cassie Hill's 5 Things to Watch about tomorrow night's game, and she probably talks about Shaw Smith-Wade and Lamar Jackson and DiCaprio Bootle and Deshaun Jameson and those corners that we need to sort of learn some things about. So I think that that'll be an interesting thing tomorrow night. But, yeah, JC can be that guy. On defense, here's what we know. Derek Brown, that guy.
Yep.
Jaycee Horn, that guy. And I think what they did this offseason was kind of raise the floor on that defense. Last year when Shaq got hurt, they were trying to turn Frankie Louvu into a middle linebacker and put a green dot on his helmet and make him call signals and line everybody up. And that's not his game. Frankie's great at a lot of stuff, but none of it was organization and communication.
Right.
So I think having a Josie Jewell and a Shaq Thompson, Trevin Wallace, that 3rd-round pick, you're another old guy. You'll respect this. That kid's giving me some Will Witherspoon vibes.
Very nice.
That would be a good thing for this bunch, both now and in the future. So having plural middle linebacker candidates is a good thing. And I think Ashawn Robinson's another. He poked a ball out down near the goal line, forced a fumble yesterday. So they've raised the floor defensively by signing good, solid guys like Ashawn Robinson, Josie Jewell, not necessarily Pro Bowl level players, but good, solid players to go with guys like Xavier Woods, who's going to be out for a week or so, but should be okay for the regular season, they hope. And we'll move on from there. But, I think that it lacks star power on that side of the ball other than Derek and JC, but they've got a better cast of characters over there.
All right, final thing for Darin Gantt, and we can be quick here. How confident are you in a Spurs top 4 finish?
I'm extremely confident. Are you kidding?
I'm with you.
Big Dom on the front line to go with Sonny. By the way, Youngman's son is my favorite athlete ever, other than perhaps Joey Votto and Armani Edwards.
Really?
Who you might be able to read more about on Panthers.com this weekend as well. There's another tease for you. Yeah, I'm pro Sonny. He brings joy to the game.
He does.
And he does. I love that. That's why we sports, isn't it?
We
want to be happy. We want to be inspired. And he does those things for me. So come on, you Spurs. I hate I have to wait till Monday.
I know.
But my fantasy lineup is locked and loaded, featuring Sonny and Big Dom.
Very nice.
Okay, up front, new addition for Tottenham.
Yep.
So going places. I love it.
Good for you. Good luck to the Spurs, not to the Spurs. It's not the San Antonio Spurs. Good luck to Spurs coming up on Monday night. Darin Gantt, Panthers.com. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See y'all.
Peace.